Well, I am personally discovering the joy of seeing the world through the eyes of a young baby. I just became a grandparent about 4 months ago. And one of the things that struck me as I try to relearn how to relate to a young child, a very young child, is seeing that sense of joy and wonder as they begin to make discoveries about the changing world around them. So my first visit out there when she was 3 weeks old, she was just beginning to discover that she had fingers. And it's kind of amazing how just that sense of awe and joy and wonder that, wow, these things are attached to me. I kind of took that for granted, but I can see that. And then it got me thinking about when you see at the totally other end of the spectrum, look at someone in their 80s or 90s, and you could always tell, that person, despite their advanced age, really has a twinkle in their eye. They have that kind of, and why is that? And I would argue that they're still enjoying that kind of joy and wonder about understanding things about the world that constantly changes around them. So that to me is what it's all about, and what keeps us young and learning from the time we're 4 months old to 80-plus-year-old and everything in between. Because the world constantly changes. It never changes. Now, I teach at a business school, and I see all the time MBAs who I think are very short-term focused. They think, okay, I've just got this, I'm about to get this prestigious degree, done. I will never have to go back to school again. I've made it. And then they think in terms of having this, perfect job. I'm going to get the great job with a great company. And neither of those expectations or their current focus is really, I think, the right way to think about it, because they've just reached another stage of their learning, but they better keep learning if they want to succeed. And they'll probably work for 8 or 9 companies over the course of their career. And I always tell students, you should be very concerned, try to find a great job, but you should be equally concerned about what would be the trigger for you to think about when it's time to leave. And the way I always frame it to them is the time to leave a company you're working for is when your capacity to learn outgrows the ability of the company to give you learning opportunities. And if you hit that wall, you're kind of dead. And then you can flip that around when I'm talking to boards of directors. When is it time to get rid of the CEO? It's when the need to learn new things outstrips the ability of the executive to continue to learn. So to me, it's 4 months old, 80 years old, and everything in between never stops. Well, my daughter, 4-year-old Frances, is teaching me how to relearn to see the world through the eyes of a very young person, and it's a great joy.